Hello art students! I want to teach you how to wash your brushes after you've been painting and also take care of your other supplies. So after you've been playing with acrylics or even watercolors, solid temperas or liquid temperas, you need to wash your brushes. So we'll be washing not only the bristles on the brush but the metal part called the ferrule and then the handle itself, because you probably got paint on your hand like I did and got paint all over the handle. You might have a spatula to lift your paints back into the paint jar or just mix it on your palette. And so we'll be washing the palette knife. And we'll be washing our water cup because you can see it has some blue paint water in it now. And we don't want to just rinse it out. We need to use soap for everything. And that is so everything's clean and we'll want to use it again next time. So let's get started. So let's just say I've been painting on this paper. And it's time to clean up. What should I do first? Well, the first thing is to wipe your brush on a paper towel to get as much paint off as possible. I'm going to get everything ready to wash. Then I'm going to wipe the spatula off the same way and just pick out the paint that way. So it's as clean as it can possibly be without adding any water. I see that I've spilled some paint on my paint bottle. So I need to get that cleaned up as well. You don't want anybody sticking their hands in there and making a mess because you were too lazy to clean it up. So that's taken care of. And now the first thing I'd like to do is get rid of the excess paint. This paint that's left on my palette is pure. It hasn't been mixed with anything. And I can put it right back in the bottle. So now that I've cleaned the bottle, I can take the lid off and scoop that paint right back into the paint jar. And you use your spatula for this. So using your spatula, just scoop that paint right back in. As long as it's pure paint, you can do this. Now we do not save these palettes because they're just recycled poster board. So we're just going to throw that away when we're done. Put the lid back on it, knowing that it's clean bottle ready to use later. So I'm going to wipe my spatula off again because I got paint on it. And now I'm ready to go. Your artwork goes on the drying rack in the back of the room. Please put it on a low shelf so people don't have to try and hunt between artworks trying to find an empty slot. Also, always make sure your name is on your paintbrush. Excuse me, make sure your name is on your artwork. Your name is on your paintbrush, by the way. You have to make sure that you're using labeled paintbrushes so I know everybody has one that they like. Alright, so I have my bar of soap here for washing everything. I'm going to dump out the water cup first and give it a good rinse. I'm just going to leave it here for a minute. And to wash my paintbrush, what I'm going to do is get it wet in the water cup in the sink. Now the water cup's got water in the sink. I'm just pounding out the last of the paint in my brush. And now that it is mostly clean and now wet, I can rub the soap bar with it. Really give it a good wash. I am trying to spread the bristles so the soap gets in there. You especially want soap down where the ferrule is because the paint can get trapped in there and ruin your brush. And so I'm going to get my fingernails in there and really give it a good hair wash like it was at the beauty salon. Really get your fingernails in there because you're going to wash your hands too. Alright, now while my hands are still soapy, I can wash my spatula knife. And again, you probably got paint all over it, so scrub it in there. Use your fingernail to pick off any paint that is stubborn and sticking on there because you don't want any paint sticking. And now I can wash my water cup. I'm just going to wash the top edge and get my soapy hand in there so I can get all the paint out of that. I don't want paint sticking in there. Now I can rinse everything off. Got a little bit of soap on my hands. I can use that. Keep everything low in the sink and not up high because it'll splash on everybody. You want to keep everything as low as possible. These sinks are not ideal for washing paintbrushes or anything else, but this is what we have. So Try to make the least amount of mess possible. Yeah, when you're rinsing off, if you see any paint, you just pick it off with your fingernails on that spatula. And then the brush, make sure you get all the soap out. You don't have to press the rudder hard, but you do need to make sure it stops dripping. All right, and so for paint brushes, you want to squeeze the water out and make sure the bristles are in a nice fine tip. I said stop dripping. All right. And I'll dry that with a clean part of my paper towel, and it's ready to go in my drawer. Always be sure you dry stuff off too. That'll keep it in the best shape possible, and it's ready to use. When you put the supplies in your drawer, make sure that the brush is not going to be up against a wall in your drawer. You do not want the bristles to bend. If they dry like that, they'll stay like that and they won't come out. Be sure to throw away your palette and put away your paintbrush. And water cups go on the heater in the back of the room. Thank you very much.